hands down. Hands down. Hands down shit, you know what I mean?
What's up, guys? It's Hands Down Sports, of course. Thanks for tuning in to the channel here on YouTube. If you have never been here before, I appreciate you for watching, man. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, notification. Ya tu sabes, loco. Help me out, my G. So today, since, I haven't really posted anything besides my visit to California. Hopefully you guys check out those videos. I went to San Diego Padres, Pepco Field to watch them play the Dodgers. Got to see Otani again. And before that, I went to Los Angeles Anaheim Angels Stadium, which was really nice. Not too bad. Felt like a real baseball stadium. And they played the Mariners, so I got to see Julio Rodriguez before he got hurt. But at least I got to see that amazing ball player, man. So hopefully you guys check out those videos for me. Give them a little like, Appreciate you. But what I'm going to start with today is going to be some fantasy football. Because I don't know about y'all, but if you can see this right here, I've already started a Bestball. Now, my Dynasty League had their rookie draft. And I'm going to show you real quick. These are the players. I had 5 picks because I've made some trade offers and stuff. And I got some extra rounds this year in 2025. So my first pick was a Marion Hampton, running back for the Chargers. I really hope that he wins that, starting position, because you know who's over there. Let's go over that because it's competition because they're veterans, but I really think that the young man with the young legs and, the stamina to play all 4 quarters and be a 3-down back is right there for this team who has a great quarterback. They just need some wide receivers to step it up. But Najee Harris is there, so he left Pittsburgh and signed, I believe, a 1-year deal with the Chargers. I mean, Najee Harris, the potential's there, but we haven't seen, anything spectacular from him. Hassan Haskins, a 25-year-old, 4 years in the league. Do you know who he is? I don't know who he is. Jarrett Patterson, another running back, 2 years in the league, 25 years old. Young guys here at the running back core. Let me see here. And then Kamini Vidal, who did get some opportunity last year. There was a good amount of, hype or, just like good things to say about the guy. He's been busting it to trying to, get this starting job. It's his second year from Troy, 23 years old. He's basically a year older than a Marion Hampton. So even though you feel like this running back core is a little bit like, packed, the best man is going to be out there on the field, especially with this coach Harbaugh, how he does things. So I'm hoping that I can get this guy right here, man, to be my number 1 running back on my Dynasty League. My second pick was Dylan Sampson. Of course, he plays for the Browns, and they let go of Chubb. Chubb is now with Houston, and the backfield is wide open. I mean, of course, I think Ford deserves to be the starter because he's been there more than 1 year. This is his, Jerome Ford's 4th year in the league, and he definitely deserves to be in the starting lineup. He's only 25 years old, man. He can make it happen, bro. But besides that, they have Amani Marshall, who's a rookie. Quinston Judkins, who's, let me see here, it says he's been in the league for 3 seasons. I don't remember him playing. You tell me, son. Tu sabes más que yo, loco. And then we have Pierre Strong Jr., who came from the New England, 4 seasons there, but never really, made anything happen. So Dylan Sampson, if I'm pronouncing his last name right, I think he has a really good opportunity to be a starter, and I would love to plug him into my dynasty and make some things happen over there in Cleveland. You know how I feel about Cleveland, man. I would love to see them in the playoffs. I mean, they were in the playoffs like 3 years ago, right? Somebody put a message on one of my videos. I really appreciate you, my G. I thought the Browns haven't been to a playoffs in decades. But, they got Sanders over there. They got some wide receivers, man. I mean, let me see here. Jerry Jeudy, he's really good, more than solid. Deontay Johnson, if he can do something that represents what he used to do for Pittsburgh, Deontay Johnson can be a nice little plug in there. But the guys have to come through, man. Cedric Tillman, he had some really good games last year, and especially in fantasy, he blew up one of the weeks towards the end of the season. But they had Jamison back there throwing the ball. So right now it's Joe Flacco, and of course he's the veteran. He's the vet with the Super Bowl rings, so he's gonna get some burn. But we'll see, man. We'll see what they do. Let me see here. Another pick in the second round that I got was Jack Betch. Now, he plays for the Raiders, and I have high hopes for this guy, man, because this dude is like 6'4", 215 pounds, wide receiver with great hands. Let's go into his thing right here. 6'1", 214, rookie, 22 years old. I hope the Raiders have a spot for him. You know what I mean? Because, of course, the number one guy is Jacoby Myers, which if you're like me and you like to pick number one wide receivers on the team, imagine that guy being your third or fourth wide receiver on your squad. Good pick, bro. But, hear good things about Jack Besh, and I hope that dude excels for the Raiders with Geno back there, who throws the deep ball, and he's known, Jack is known for going for those type of passes in college. So now I did pick 2 Kansas City Chiefs rookies in my third round. I had 2 picks in the third round, so 2 picks in the second round. I had the 1.2 pick in the first round. And there's only 3 rounds because this dynasty is only rookies, and then you can pick up whoever from the waiver wire. Those that play dynasty know what I'm talking about. But let's go to Kansas City, which I think the AFC West is a diesel. The Chiefs, I think, are in one of the hardest divisions in the NFL. But, of course, we'll see, man. Denver, you know what Denver's going to do. As long as their quarterback doesn't have some type of downfall, Denver, Denver Chargers, the Chiefs. I mean, man. And then who am I missing here? And then the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are coming up. They got a new coach. The coach brought over his ex-quarterback from the Seattle, Seahawks. They got a number 1 running back in the draft. They plugged in a couple of rookie wide receivers. You never know, man. They might win more than 4 games this year. But as you can see right here, Jalen Royals and Brashard Smith. So Jalen Royals is a wide receiver. And I'm just hoping when he does get his opportunity, he makes something of it, man. Because, I mean, this wide receiver room is packed. Hollywood Brown, right? Rashid Rice, he's the number 1 guy. And who's the other guy? Xavier Worthy. Those 3 dudes, man, that's it. And then they got Kelsey and whoever else, But, Mahomes, he finds the open man. And then, of course, Coach Reed, he'll have a spot for you, But Jalen Rose, I picked him because he's very very quick, very fast. You know, something that T. Hill was when he. I mean, he still is, of course, for the Dolphins. But when he used to play for the Chiefs, that was the guy. Send him all the way down there. My homie, he got that cannon. He'll do what he has to do. And then Brashard Smith is just a dude that I decided to pick with my 3.4, which is the last guy that I chose. The only reason is because, of course, I have Pacheco on my Dynasty League. So if Pacheco gets hurt, or they're going to, do some 60-40, and they're going to see what Brashard Smith can bring to the table, hopefully I got a little small gem right there for my Dynasty League. But I tell you, man, this season, I think is the running back core is very little. I don't know. I mean, if you do find some gems in the later rounds, you are the greatest. Because I'd only done 3 mock drafts, and I tried to plug in like a tight end early, like Bowers. I try to go wide receiver heavy, and then I find myself just looking at my running backs on my squad, and they're all like number 2s. Like, man, you're going to have to pick a really good running back in the early rounds. And going into running backs, like my late round running backs in the mock drafts, and of course, if you can see this video, I'm going to post right here for you guys. These teams right here are the ones that I did in Bestball, which is the Underdog app. This first one that I'm showing you right here is I was in the 3rd pick. So as you can see here, my quarterbacks is Bo Nix, Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson, right? My running backs, really nice, man. Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irvin. Then I got Bashal Tudor from Jacksonville. Ramondre Stevenson. He's still on the Patriots, but they picked up a rookie that is probably going to take a lot of snaps away from Stevenson. So, you know, teams now in the NFL know they need 2 really good running backs. So, it's the way they play them out. And then I just picked up Jalen Wright because there's potential there. Everybody knows he's a really good ball player. He can be a stud in the NFL, but of course, Achane, how can you take his spot? He's doing so good over there. And then, of course, here, let me see. My wide receivers, I got Terry McLaurin. Paired up Courtland Sutton with Nix. I got Jalen Waddle, which I think he's going to have a really great season this year. For some reason, I feel like T. Hill is kind of like breaking his bridges. And I think they're going to be looking for Jalen Waddle, who's been just quiet, taking care of business, and he's a really good wide receiver. So it might be from, the T. Hill number 1 is probably going to be number 2 next to Waddle here. For some reason, I have a good feeling about him. Jaden Reed is my guy. There's like a million wide receivers for Green Bay, but at least with him, it's almost like a Debo. He does wide receiver, running back. He can get some punt returns, this and that. So there might be some sneaky, big games that he does just like last year, but not very consistent, let's say 15, 18 fantasy points PPR-wise. We'll see. Now, the guy that I like, that's over there in Tampa, as you can see right there, Jalen McMillan. Oh, man. With let me go to the squad because I can't even remember people's names no more. And I'm sorry, man, because Mike Evans, that's my guy, man. One of the greatest, babe. So Mike Evans and, of course, Godwin. Godwin. They're veterans, man. And McMillan is a young dude. You know what I'm saying? So you see what he did last year, like towards the end of the season. There's some potential there, man. I really hope that he blows up this year, man. Just Baker, start looking for that guy, man. I don't know how you guys are going to use him, but I think that's a great asset for a number 3 wide receiver. When you have those two veterans, stud, championship worthy guys, you know what I'm saying? Got the Super Bowl and all. But Jalen Coker over there in Carolina, and then in best ball, you get like 18, 19 rounds. So Isaac Tesla over there in Detroit. He's also, I picked him up on the waiver wire in my dynasty league. And the reason why I picked him, man, and don't tell nobody, bro, is because of his last name. And Detroit is known for building cars and Ford and, you know what I mean? And now we're all going into the electric world. They might want to make him a superstar to start selling some more Teslas, you know what I mean? I hope he gets a little check from them one day. But anyways, and then, my tight ends, I don't feel too strongly of them, but, Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, Dalton Kincaid. I mean, Kincaid, man, come on, man. You got one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league, babe, right now. And Kelce, he's solid. He's not the same production as it was, let's say, 3 years ago. But apparently with the loss of the Super Bowl, he's gained some muscle, lost some weight. I don't know. Him and my homie were talking about, like, they're really dedicating to get back to that Super Bowl, man. That they really wanted to win that, third in a row. But, we'll see, man. This Bestball one was probably the best team I drafted. Now, this second one right here. I was in the 11th pick in the second Bestball. And as you can see here, my guys, Jaden Daniels. I got Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, man. Don't sleep on my homie this year, bro. He's going to help everybody. I hope he does help me in my leagues, because I would love to win this Bestball, man. I know there's a lot of money for first place, but just to have that in my resume. Hands down sports, babe. And then I picked Sam Darnold just to have a third, quarterback. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do as good as he did last year. I think last year was a fluke. I think last year was like he just put it together and then got the big contract and he's going to lay back. That's it. Now, my running backs, Kyron Williams, and then Trayvon Henderson. That's the gentleman that I think from the rookie draft for New England that's going to win that starting position over Stevenson. Tyrone Tracy is solid. He's a starter over there for the Giants. Trey Benson, I'm just flipping a coin, hoping the best. What's my man's? Let's see here. So the Cardinals, they have James Conner, who doesn't play a full season, but he needs rest to be productive because he's really good. Michael Carter, he had, he's all right, you know what I'm saying? But DJ Dallas, Amari DeMarcado, he had like one really great game. Everybody was like, oh, let me get him. No, he's so nah. But, he's young, man. He's 26 years old, third year in the league, fourth year in the league. He can make something happen. And then they got some guy, Zanova Knight. He's not getting burned. But Trey Benson, come on, babe. This is your second season, and I think it's time to step up. And then Blake Corum, just in case my man Kyron gets hurt, there's a plug-in, especially in best ball. That would be a big help. But I like my wide receiver core on this team. Brian Thomas from Jacksonville, stud. Ladd McConkey from the Chargers, stud. Deebo Samuels on a new team. People are sleeping on him. I think he's going to make some moves. Now, of course, Jaden Reed, hands down sports like Jaden Reed, dog, because of his versatility. But Jack Besh from the Raiders. I just talked to him about drafting him in my dynasty league. Jalen McMillan again. Come on, babe. Don't play me, man. Jalen, he can do big things, bro. Tampa Bay got a potential, superstar right there, man. It's just, you gotta learn from the best. Mike Evans. Yo, soak that in, doggy. Jalen Royals, wide receiver for Kansas City, one of my last picks on there. And then, as you can see, my tight ends are, Juno Smith. Yeah, Juno Smith. He's still with the Dolphins. Kyle Pitts. I don't know if he ever will have a great season, but have a couple of good weeks, especially towards the end of the season during the playoffs, my friend. Because Atlanta, man, they're nice, man. They're gonna start a new quarterback. Their rookie that he played a couple of games last year towards the end of the season because your boy over there couldn't. He couldn't. I can't say nothing, man. He had an amazing career. Kirk Cousins got paid beautifully. He should be behind the mic now. You know what I mean? But Michael Finks Jr., there's potential there to be really, oh man. And he runs the ball too, and I think they're going to be feeding London, like the wide receivers for Atlanta. Let me see here. Chris Blair. Who? Who? Cardell Hodge. ¿Quién es el loco? Jesse Matthews. No lo conocemos. Well, Darnell Mooney can have a good season. You know what I mean? He's the deep threat. He's good. Ray McLeod showed some potential last year. He's decent. Not too bad. But when you look at that wide receiver core, it's Drake London all day. He's probably going to get like 20 looks every week. You know what I mean? But, it's Bijan Robinson. He's the man. And then I picked up Noah Gray. Just in case. Like, let's say your man's Kelsey, he's less time on the field. You know what I mean? But let's say, even though he's trying to be the best player out there, he doesn't make it happen. And they got this guy. He's been playing the last, few seasons. He knows the playbook. They trust him. My homie was going to throw it to him. Let's see what happens, man. I don't know if you guys will like my team here. Let me see. Give me some thumbs up if you think my team is really good, or give me some thumbs down if you think the team is trash. Like Hands Down Sports. This is. I didn't do any my drafts. I just started right now, just looking into this season and fantasy football. Drake May, Bo Nix, and Michael Finks are the quarterbacks that are young, that have potential to be the top dogs in the league. Keon Coleman, let's not sleep on that guy. He's over there with Buffalo. You didn't really see much last year. You're like, he's trash hands. I just feel that now that, they don't have, what's his name in there? I can't even remember his name right now, but maybe he becomes, one of the top wide receivers. I mean, Khalil, he's good, but he's not consistent enough. Xavier Worthy is the one that I would rather pick on my draft this season over Rice. But, if Rice plays the whole season, Worthy's number 2, bro. Rice is way better. And then the guy that I think will have a great season in wide receiver, he is now going to be the number 1 guy. And you've seen what he did last year when they treated him like the number 1 guy, is Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN, for Seattle, man. Like I said, he's the number 1 wide receiver, so you want to have him on your squad. The running backs in the late rounds that I like is DeAndre Swift, Trey Benson, Jerome Ford, and Jalen Warren. They're not. Well, DeAndre Swift is the starter for the Bears, we'll see what the new offense coordinator, how they plug him in, and what they got him doing. It's not. I think Swift can still have a really solid season. You know what I mean? He's not your number one guy in your fantasy unless, you go wide receiver heavy or something. You know, try that out. And the tight ends that I was looking at, of course, Evan Ingram is now with Denver, and I think he's going to be a great option for Bo Nix. Travis Kelsey, I have faith in that guy, man, because I think he's one of the greatest to ever, put on the pads, and especially in the tight end spot. Like, he's up there with the best of them, and maybe he has one more year. Like, yo, this is it, though. I'm putting it all out there. Don't F with me, B. You know what I mean? We'll see. But then Drew Ogletree, he's playing for the Colts, and it's a wide open tight end room in there. So if he produces, he's going to take that starting spot. Now, I know they drafted somebody, Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is the tight end that the Colts drafted, and everybody is pretty high on him. So it's either Tyler Warren or Drew Ogletree, which I think Ogletree is going to do pretty good. He had 109 yards last year on 9 receptions, 1 touchdown. He basically averaged like 12 yards per catch. But Tyler Warren from Penn State, he might be the next stud. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, it's open, man. It's wide open. It's like a flip a coin, and just keep an eye out to see who's best for your squad.